Okay, now time 10 past 35 now. I think it's better to start the session. Uh, how? Wait. Okay, how about do you view the slide now? I think you will view this one. Right. Yeah. Right. Under the second chapter, we discuss the few parts, right? The second chapter name called what? Objectives of measuring learning outcomes, right? Under the second chapter, we covered few parts, and this is like a summary when concerned about the last sessions, the cognitive process dimensions and also the knowledge dimensions, right? Factual and conceptual, procedural knowledge. We can identify various knowledge dimensions and the cognitive process dimensions. The remember, understand, apply, analyze, and creatives. That means that there are two domains now. The new classical, new one, right? I think you remember last session we covered this part. Recall in your memory. Remember and understand. The new classification, right? Understand and apply, analyze, evaluation, and also we expected creativity also, right? By focusing this, we can identify the remember, understand, apply, analyze, evaluate. By focusing factual knowledge, we can give the list also and recall again and again. Understand, provide the summary or like a para, right? And using this paragraph, we can give this summarize for the students and apply some classify, ordered, rank, and the combination of all, right? The creativity, conceptual knowledge, describe, interpret, and experiment. These are the various process or the tools we are using to enhance this knowledge dimension, right? The procedural knowledge, like a table we can given and predict, forecast, few calculation, differentiation, conclude. This is like a procedural knowledge. By focusing procedural knowledge, we can use this cognitive process. Metacognitive knowledge, appropriate use, execute, construct, achieve. These are the various processes or the activities we can use to enhance this knowledge dimension, right? Affective domain, the meaning, what this is affective. We divided into main dimensions, few dimensions, right? And we discussed the cognitive part by now, right? Such as these things also. Lastly, we discussed three domains. Okay, three domains. One, cognitive. Okay, the second one, affective. And the third one, psychomotor. Now we covered this cognitive part. Now I'll move into cognitive domain. Means what? The context of the knowledge and information constructed by students and academic abilities related to that information and knowledge content. Explaining the objective for evaluation. These cognitive abilities are described separating into two major parts, like a knowledge and also intellectual skills. More detail on these matters, we discuss about this cognitive part, right? Cognitive process. Also, the example is one. Remember, understand, apply, like these things. Okay, now the second one, what affective? Affective domain. Affective domain means the qualities such as attitude, good properties, virtues, habit, exit in a good person. The cognitive part we know, some are knowledge, normally excellent level. Okay, their knowledge is very high. When we give this like a paper, question paper, some students can be identified. They can earn normally out of 195, right? Their knowledge, right? Knowledge is very high. Knowledge and also their intellectual skills, sometimes presentational skills, right? Normally they earn high marks, but their discipline how? Some students are okay now, both are okay, their knowledge and also skills very high, and they are maintain proper attitudes, good attitudes, and also the good persons, right? But unfortunately, some students can be identified. Their normally knowledge and interpersonal skills up to some level high, but their attitude and their habits very low or poor, right? But we have to concern this affective domain also. Now, as an example, we know within a school also we are maintain discipline, no? Trying to maintain a discipline also. The reason is that this affective domain also very important. Good person. And that is developed in the student due to fact taught through the techniques used teaching and also the teachers' activities, right? The affective domain, there are 5 levels, right? Receiving, this is the lower level of affective domain. This level intend to consent of the person to pay the attention to stimuli, right? And good attitude or bad attitude. Some are like to read a book, but some dislike to reading a book. Now, if they reading, they are interested to read book. What? How about the attitude? Good now, but some students can be identified. We have to compel for them. Right? The example, the receiving. This is the lower level of affective domain. This level intend to consent of the person to pay the attention. Stimuli or the phenomena, the good example, some are like to read a book without any compare. Responding, this intent activities, participation of the students. They normally involve reading books, the valuing, providing a value by students, any object, event, or the behavior. Involved in reading further considerations that reading is good quality of the students. Now, the attitude also good quality of the students. The organization. There are 5 levels. The first one, receiving, responding, valuing, and the organization. Unification of the variety of values included in dividing individual organization as a set of values, right? Involved in the continuous process to develop academic knowledge. This may be specially impact to enhance and develop their knowledge also. Characterization, the last one. There are 5 levels, right? Characterizations happen due to value system. It may be impact for the value. Also, when reaching this level, the pattern of life is developed, right? And individual on account of the value system that was responsible. The example given, an individual will be a knowledgeable person becoming reading books. Okay. and discovering knowledge as a part of his life. These things may be impact to positive behavior of the life. Another one, what the last one, psychomotor domain, right? There are three now. We identified what are these three. According to this Bloom's divide this personality development process into three. Okay. Personality development. Through the education, normally we expect personal development. The one, cognitive part, another one, affective part, and another psychomotor level, right? What this refers to one of the three domain learning, right? And alongside cognitive and also the affective domain. It's involved the development of physical skill, the coordination of movement, physical movement, mental process. The term was first introduced by the educational psychologist Dale, 1970, associated. This is focusing Bloom's taxonomy. We traditionally focus the cognitive learning, but also incorporate aspect psychology. There are key features when concerned about this domain. We can identify the physical skill, motor skills, and learning through practices. This domain focuses the development and master of physical task or skills. It includes activities like typing, driving, a little bit how they can implement it, practically implement. Firstly, they gather knowledge, okay? And after their attitude, we concern about their attitudes also. And the next one, how they can do practically. How they can do practically. Practical. That means some are their theoretical knowledge high, but practically the implementation part very low. We have to concern this side also. Physical skill, right? The good example, practical, they can type it, dancing, sport, like this, surgery. Motor skills, the domain emphasizes the development of motor coordination, fine motor skills, like manipulating tools, gross motor skills, such as running or jumping, like practical. You know about the vocational qualifications, normally this area of focus, not NVQ level also. Learning through practice. It involves hands-on practice. Normally this domain highly concerned about the application. Practically they can do or not. When concerned about this psychomotor domain, there are seven levels can be identified. The one called perception implies the receipt necessary clue guidance to the same again activities. Like example, people who visit a picture exhibition, which is draw the picture. People who watch the dancing concert motivates to learn dance. Normal perceptions we can create at the beginning. And after set, what? This implies the set carry out activity, physical, mental, as well as normally. Please think about video. Normally, students can see this dancing concert or something. And after they also like to dance like this, Western or ways, assume. And after we should to be ready to do these things, physical and mental. Well, normally we have to organize some activities to do this one in practical set. Guided responses. This implies doing what an instructor demonstrated. The learning to dance by imitating the dancing teacher. Do the dancing teacher firstly do, and after students also trying to do it. The first one, perception, and after set, normally. Under the perception, at initially we motivate to do this one, right? And after the set means they are ready. And we can coach, now guide. Teacher also can dance. And after students also trying to imitate this one, right? The fourth one, mechanism. At this level, the individual can involve himself in activities with the great confidence and trust. Normally, they know how to do this one and build the confidence also. The fifth one, complex or responses. At this level, mastery level, activities learned earlier can be seen. Involve dancing in a stage without speech. Now they are ready to do all these things. Their confidence level also very high. They move into stage and perform in their activities. Adaptation in this at this level, motor activities learned are developed into very high. They became expert, right? Involved in the activities to suit occasion. Involved dancing efficiency according to the nature of the stage, according to the stage. They can adapt. Okay. According to the situation, they can adapt and they can do their activities. Now the origination and the creation, the last one. Now there are 7 levels. This is the highest development level of motor skills. The individual gets the strength to manipulate motor skills, right? The finally, at present in our creation performing and also some organized innovative things, innovative dances, so, right. The under the second chapter, finally we can came to this conclusion by focusing objectives of measuring learning outcomes. Overall, measuring learning outcomes through clear, right? The process should be clear and specific objectives. Very clearly, we should identify what are the objectives, why we are involved with this measuring of the learning outcome. What is the objective? And the process also, we can identify clearly. Not only drives academic success, but ensure that educational purposeful. When involved with the learning outcome, measuring learning outcome or evaluating learning outcome, the process should be very clear. Nowadays, we have the exam and obtain marks, right? And compare first place, second place. This is one method, right? The process also very clearly identified. And also, we have to ensure that the educational purpose also. What is the purpose? To the not only the provide like a certificate or grade, right? We have to focus what I think you remember the behavioral changes. Like these things also have to be considered. Not only drives academic successful, but also ensure that education is purposeful, right? Effective aligned with both students' need and societal need. These objectives ultimately contribute to the holistic development of students. Not only one part, we have to concern more, like not only focus knowledge. We have to give this attention for skills, attitude, value system, mindset, like these things. Preparing them for future challenges and success in a complex world. We have to prepare our students for the match with the international requirement also, right? These things have to be considered when we are involved with the measuring learning outcomes, right? Okay, well, now I'll move into a new chapter, right? What is the chapter 3? Third one. Now we completed first two chapters, right? And please give 1 minute. So I'll share the new one, right? The third chapter related one. Okay. Right now. Yes. Just give 1 minute. So I'll rest one. All right. Okay. Now I think you view this one, the third one, under the educational measurement and evaluation. By now we complete first two chapters, the functions of the evaluations, and another one, objectives for measuring learning outcomes. By now we complete these two chapters. Third one, what? Planning, achievement, test. That. Okay, planning, achievement, test. Okay. What is the meaning of planning, achievement, test? Is a type of assessment, right? We are using various assessment type. This is also one of the type. Clear now? Type of assessment designed to evaluate a learner's ability. Right? This is one of the type of assessment, and we are using to evaluate learner ability, to plan, organize their problem, to task or a problem. This type of test emphasize the cognitive and strategic aspect of problem solve and task execution. These tests, especially we are using to measure the students' problem solving skills and also task execution. Practically, they can do it or not. Right. The focus is not just final outcome, but on how the learner structure this approach, decide on method, tools, organize step, reach a goal effectively. Okay. Planning achievement test. It is one of the assessment tests. Okay. We are designed to evaluate learner's ability. Learner's ability. This type of test especially emphasize what? Cognitive and strategic aspect of problem solving and task execution. I'll give 1 minute. Please try to write this point to this point. And underline evaluate the learner ability. Okay, one of the type of assessment. Evaluate the learner's ability and also the problem solving and task execution. Please try to underline this word. Right. Okay, now I think you all completed this part, right? I'll say to you, please write and underline the type of assessment. That means learning achievement test means it can be identified like one of the type of assessment. We are using for what? Evaluate the learner's ability. Especially we are focused like problem solving abilities and also task performance or the execution. All right. Next point. The importance of planning achievement test. Why we are using like these tests? Assessment of high order thinking. Unlike a simple recall test, planning achievement test require learner to apply high order cognitive skills. Especially not only the theoretical part, how we can practically do it. All right. This is very important. Like the concern about this Sri Lankan education system also, Zama argued, especially we focus knowledge oriented. Some students, we can identify their theoretical knowledge very high, but the implementation is low. They can't apply their knowledge into practice. Right? The assessment of high order thinking. Then assessment tests require learner to apply their order, high order cognitive skills. The another important preparation for real world challenge. These tests help especially develop skill, not only the knowledge, right? Develop skills that are important to real life setting, like project management, decision making, problem solving, right? Practical work. It's near to the practical world. This is also another importance of planning achievement test. Encourage strategic learning by focusing one of the process of planning and organizing planning achievement test encourage learners to think critically and anticipated challenges before acting. Another one, improve learn outcomes. The planning achievement test can lead to better outcomes by helping students internalize the value of thoughtful planning, which can improve overall performance, not just the context, but various aspects of their personal and professional life, especially uh, using these planning achievement tests improve overall performance, and also it may be helpful to their personal and also the professional life also. Okay. These are the importance of planning achievement test. Okay. You can write some important point based on this slide also. Please give 1 minute. I'll share this one PDF one. You 1 minute. All right. I'll share this chapter within chat box, right? You can download it. Now I'll share all the chapters. That means first three chapters. Right? To the session, I'll share, and therefore please try to attend the classes continuously. And you can find the lecture material. It is easy. How about can you download it? I'll share by now. Jayakala, how about? Kaushalya? Can you download it? Oh, Marika.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Can down. Okay,
Right.
sir.
Okay. I'll share it. Right. Yeah. Okay. By now we discuss the meaning of planning achievement test and also the importance of planning achievement test. And another one, when we are held the planning achievement test, what are the steps? There are few steps we can use. The one, especially planning achievement test, firstly we plan, right? And after we can help like a test by focusing practical. Just think about, about the professional courses like chartered ICS and like a law college. Okay, the planning achievement test. Firstly, they plan. Normally, they assess the student for what? To create a professional person, no? To create a professional person, right? Like accountant, right? And also like a lawyer. They are not held only the exam, no? Right? Normally they held exam also. Uh, like assume MBBS. Normally they held 4 years exam. And another one, and they have to get the practical knowledge under the teaching hospital laws. The lawyer also same now. Chartered accountant also same. Normally they complete the exam and after they have to train on the audit firm or non-audit sector. But finally they can prepare who is normally they produce professional person now. Therefore, it may be this test various aspects of their personal and also the professional life. Overall performance, into the overall, these are the improved learning outcome. Outline the subject content. Dividing educational objectives and learning outcome to be tested. Yes. Subject well designed, right? Firstly, we have to design the subject content. What are the areas? Dividing the educational objectives and learning outcome to be tested. What are the objectives very clearly should identify. The learning outcomes also have to be tested. Building table of specification based on content, educational objective. And constructing relevant test item. What are the tools or the method or techniques we wish to use? These things should construct. Review and editing the test item. These are read for on again and again. We have to review it. And finally, arranging the item in the test and preparing direction. Right. We can identify these steps when building achievement test, right? Component of planning achievement test. Problem or a scenario description. The test provide real world and hypothetical situation. You know, when concerned about like chartered exam, normally they complete their all exam and provided the case study also, no? Right, case study. SIMA also providing like the case study. And some universities also normally give the research, right, for their degree program, right? Why? The problem solving, the test provide real world or the hypothetical situation requiring planning address a challenge, problem or a scenario description, question or a task. The student is asked, break down the scenario, identify key objective, outline step, take solve the problem. This might open-ended question or a structured task. Component, these are the few components, right? The one, problem or a scenario description. Another question or the task we can give. Various tasks. The criteria for evaluation. Various criteria. The logical structure. Is the plan well organized and reasonable? Logical structure. We can completeness. Test the plan account for all necessary steps or elements. How about they complete it according to the guideline, right? Some are missing some parts, right? Feasibility. Can the plan realistically executed? Considering available resources, time and other constraints. The creativity and also the innovation part, right? Does the plan offer a unique solution and appropriate to potential challenges? Okay. But these are the components of a planning achievement test. You can write some important point. These are the few components. Right. Okay. Under the planning achievement test, we discussed the few parts by now. The meaning, right? It's very clear. One of the assessment now, type of assessment. We are using for what? Evaluate learners' ability. All right. Highly we give this especially attention for problem solving and also the task execution, the meaning. And after we discuss the importance of planning achievement test, right? Few importance we discussed. And what are the steps we are involved with building, planning, achievement test. And these are the component of the planning achievement test. Other several basic qualities of the test. What? What are the basic qualities? When designing like this type of test, whether for the academic purpose or any other form assessment, we can use for the academic purpose or the other purpose. It is important to ensure the test process certain basic qualities effectively measure the intended knowledge, skill, ability. Here are core qualities of a good test. In concern about test, these are the features. Okay, these are the features or the qualities of good test. What are these three? The one, it should be validity, based on validity. Reliability. Another one, practicability. Okay, these are the core features of a good test. Right. I think it may be easy to understand for you. And after I wish to discuss these three qualities one by one. The meaning of validity, reliability, practicability, right? Like these things I wish to discuss one by one. Okay, right. Now please trying to complete this part. Okay, the first one, validity. The meaning of validity. When concerned about the good planning achievement test, the one of the feature or the quality, it should be valid. Validity means appropriateness of the measuring instrument, accomplish the expected purpose. It should be appropriate. The example, it is intended to examine the expected achievement level of the skill writing, reading, speaking, and listening in the students by learning a language, other language like English, as in. A quality test should be success to measure these four skills, right? These four skills. If it is measure only the written, this is actually F4UR, right? It should be these four skills here. Sorry, right? F4UR, right? Now it's okay, right? Four. The one writing, reading, speaking, and the listening. Now, listening skill. The quality test, the validity means we have to measure all these four. If it is measure only the writing skill, the validity of the test, what happened? Decrease. Okay, it should be appropriate or suitable, no? Most suitable. Have to measure all the areas according to this example, not only one area. Okay, all right. Just trying to complete this part. And if you have any issues or doubt, please you can ask. Huh? Right. How about Jayakala, Marikar? Can you understand?
Yes, sir.
Kaushalya?
Understood.
Okay, right.
Yes, sir.
All right. Yeah. You can write some important points. It is better to maintain a note. Huh? The reason is that you have the final exam also, not for the assignment plus exam, right? right? Okay, now I'll move into the second one, the reliability. Reliability. Okay. Sorry, the validity types also can be identified, and after moving to the reliability. What are the types of validity? The first one, face validity, content, construct validity, concurrent validity, predictive validity. These things have to be considered, right? Have to be considered. The one called the face value one, face validity. Now, the face validity means finding the appropriateness for the subject of the test as per such. Experienced teachers are able to create a sense of the test by turning pages. That means by focusing the phases at beginning or the initially we came to the conclusion if you are using like experienced teacher, the student's performance may be high. Be one of the example. That means when we are using experienced teacher, it is appropriate or it is better, right? This is the example for like the case validity. More suitable experienced teacher compared with newly appointed teacher, right? But sometimes it may be wrong, huh? Okay. According to the face validity, we think. Another one, content validity. What? The content validity means constructing a test so as to enable subject content in the syllabus to be measured according to the educational object. That means we can identify the subject content within a syllabus wide area. But unfortunately, some are test very few area. It's not a good. It's not appropriate. No, it's not suitable. Therefore, we trying to cover as the whole syllabus. We know it's a very difficult 100% cover the syllabus, but the content to some level we can cover. Now, content have to focus the subject content in the syllabus to be measured in accordance with the educational object. It is difficult to prepare a test paper including all subject matter in any subject related test, but we trying to cover the content. Okay, it's very clear. Right. You can write some important point based on this also. Right. Okay. Next one. Construct. There are 5 types of validity. The one face validity, another one content, right? And construct validity. What? The construct validity means finding to what extent the best that has been made has conformed to the theory which have served its basis. Construct validity is more important, like intelligence test, aptitude test, personality test. We have to construct it appropriately. When we are held, we also test now various tests. We have to give this high level of attention for the construct. Or what extent? Okay. We have to give this attention for the extent. By focusing this part, we have to prepare the test. When we are involved with the intelligence test, aptitude test, or the personality test, we have to highly concern about these constructs. Okay, right. Is trying to complete this part also. Right. Now I think you all done this part also. The fourth one, concurrent validity. What? The concurrent validity means what extent is the test is subjected to standardization. We have to concern about the standardization. Agrees with the other contemporary tests. Concurrent validity is a research-based inquiry. Prepare like a sign test for the grade 11 students, obtain marks of the students by holding the science test. Compare the mark obtained their O-level exam using a statistical method. Normally, we have to concern about the standardization. right? This is also another validity, right? Concurrent validity. What extent is the test that is subjected to standardization agrees? That means we have to have the test according to the commonly accepted standard also, right? Okay. Right. The another one, predictive validity. Predictive means what extent to test is capable of predicting. Predicting means what? The forecast, no? Predicting whether individual are suitable and competent to perform certain tasks in future. It is expected to select competent students in grade 5 scholarship examination, compare the mark obtained by the students after appearing to the test held grade 6 and 7 having predictive validity. The one thing when concerned about the grade 5 scholarship exam, right? If they normally they are eligible for the 6 or the 6 now, grade 6. That means we forecast, we predict this test enough to transfer students into the grade 6. Another one, ordinary level exam, right? If they completed O-level exam, normally we assume, right? We forecast they are ready for the advanced level, right? Predict. Trying to complete this one also. The capable of predicting underline. Capable of predicting. Yeah, right. Okay. Now we are the second one. Four features for the qualities of good test. Now we discuss the meaning of validity and also the types of validity. Next one, reliability. Okay. The meaning of reliability, what? Consistency of the measurement obtained by using measuring instrument. Various decisions are taken by using test score. The accuracy of the decision taken depend on the reliability of test. The test score will differ than true score that should be received to the student. It will increase or decrease the true score. A mark which is received the increasing or the decreasing amount from the true score defined as the error. The error is less. If the error is less, the test reliability will be go high. The error should be very low. If the error is more, what happens? The reliability level may go down. There are several factors maybe in fact now increase or the decrease errors in the test. That means when issuing the result, right, assume some are give the chance to the students for the recorrection process. Okay. Just think about the out of like 100, 70 students. When question about the 70 students, their mark change. There is no difference reliability level name. Okay, the reliability level is high. Okay, please underline the error is less, the test reliability will be so high. If the test reliability will be all now we discuss the validity and also the reliability. Right. Okay. Next point, there are several factors that affect to increase or decrease of an error. There are several, no? Several factors may be affect increase or the decrease of an error. All right. In test score reliability, factor related to personality trait of the examiner. Some are strict, some are lenient. Naturally, they directly to assign high mark. The inconsistency of the examiners cause to lack of reliability. Yeah, the personality trait of the examiners also may be impact for the reliability level, no? The one factor. Some are called, normally they are dislike to allocate marks. I see. Another one, somehow give highest mark, right, without proper evaluation. These two are not good, right? These two methods are not good. It may be impact for the level of reliability. The personality trait of the examiner. Another point, there are temporary effects to the examiner's trait. The fatigue of the marking paper, unrest mental status, physical weakness. Yeah. When concerned about the examiner, how about their mental status, sometimes their physical weakness? These things also may be impact for the reliability. We have to consider these things also. Other factors affect are the relevant subject knowledge, professional experience. How about the other factors? Are the subject knowledge of the professional and their experiences. Knowledge and also experience also may be impact. Now the instructions and guidance affect to the variation of marks. Instructions and also the guidance may be impact for the variation of marks, right? These are the several factors it may be affect for the reliability. Okay, score of the reliability, score of the reliability. It may be increase or the decrease now. Especially examiners personality and also their mental status and physical weakness, their knowledge and experience, right? These things may be impact. Sometimes the instructions and guidance also may be impact. Okay. All right. Please trying to complete this part. Right. Okay. Now I think you all are done this part also. That is, various factors may be impact for the reliability of the test score. Now the practicable. What? The last one. Now there are three. These are the features or the characteristics of a good test. The one validity, another one reliability, and another one practicability. Now I will be citation for the practicability. Yeah, practicability means what? Ability to use a test in a physical and also the social environment, sustainably defined as the practicability. Ability to use a test in physical and the social environment, sustainably defined as the practicability. Conducting written test is impossible in an environment which doesn't have facilitate for writing instrument. In such problematic situation, teacher have to do test by reading questions or writing questions on the blackboard. The practicability. Sometimes when we are involved with the test, it's difficult to handle. But difficult, okay, we have to concern about the author. We can implement it. As example, when conducting a written test, impossible in an environment. All right. How facilitate the writing instrument? Like in such problematic situation, teacher how to do test by reading questions or writing questions within a blackboard. Right. The practicability also another important features of the good test. Okay. Trying to complete this part also. Ability to, please underline this part. This is very important. Ability to use a test in physical and social environment sustained. Right. Please underline. One minute. Right, okay. Now I think you all done this part. Oh, right. Now I give this attention for the chapter 3, right? Planning achievement test. Initially, we discussed the meaning of planning achievement test. Especially, it can be identified as one of the types of assessment. No? We are using to evaluate learners' ability. We highly focus problem solving part and also task implementation or the execution, right? And after we discuss what are the importance of planning achievement test, assessment of high order thinking, preparation for the real world challenges, we can use this test. Encourage strategic learning, improve learning outcomes, right? And after we give this attention, what are the steps on building up achievement test? And we discuss three components of the planning achievement test, mainly the problem or the scenario description, question or a task, criteria for the evaluation. And finally, we give this attention for what are the core qualities or the core features of a good test. The one, validity, second one, reliability, and the third one, practicable. We discussed these things in detail, right? Now we covered this part in detail. Okay. Now I'll move into another new chapter. If you want it, I'll share new slides. Chapter 4, test construction. Okay, test construction. Right. By now we covered first 3 chapters. The one, function of the evaluation. The second one, objectives for measuring learning outcome. Third one, planning achievement test. And the fourth one, test construction. Test construction. What? The test construction. In the education field, test construction refers to the process of designing and developing assessment. Test constructions refers to the process of designing and developing assessment that are used to evaluate students. Normally, the meaning, test construction meaning, it's very clear. Process of design. It can be identified like a step-by-step process of designing and developing assessment that are used for what? Evaluate the students' knowledge, skill, abilities, and also the learning outcome. This process involves creating valid, reliable, and fair tests that accurately measure what they are intended to assess. This process involves creating valid, reliability, and fair tests that accurately measure what they are intended to assess. Effective test construction help to ensure that assessments are meaningful. Okay, if they design well, the test design well, that means assessments are meaningful or not meaningful, and provide valuable feedback about the students, their progress, strength, and also what are the areas for improvement, right? The effective test constructions may be helpful to identify what are the level of progress now and their strength, student strength, and also their weak area. By focusing this area, we have to improve now. Therefore, how these test constructions are important, right, in the field of education, right? Okay, just trying to complete this part. Right. Okay. Now I think you all are done this part. Under the chapter 4, we discussed the meaning of test construction. Right. It can be identified like a process of designing and developing assessment. It may be useful for the evaluate students' knowledge, skills, abilities like a learning outcome. Process involved in creating the test should design by focusing validity, reliable, fair of the test, and also it should be accurate one. Effective test construction may be helpful, right, in the field of education. Right. The types of test item. Next one, the types of test item. Providing appropriate test item or the questions in the next step. On making an achievement test. In written test, two major categories can be used to classify most widely used item. Like one, supply type, the type of test item. Huh? Another one called selection types, right? This is very important one. And what types of item for especially written test, right? We focus written test, the one supply type, another one called selection. I wish to discuss these things in detail, right? Supply type means like a short answer questions or the extended answer varieties. The selection type, machine variety to alternative variety, multiple choice questions, varieties like this. Okay. This is, I wish to discuss these things in detail. What is the meaning of supply type and what is the meaning of selection type? Okay, firstly, please write this one. Two major categories. Mostly used the one called supply type and the second one called selection type. Right. Okay, and after please draw this figure, right? This is also another important one, right? This one. And after I wish to discuss the meaning of supply type and also the selection type. According to your syllabus, especially we focus written test, huh? Not like oral test or something, only the written test. It divided into supply type and also the selection type. Yeah, right. Okay. The next one. What is the meaning of supply type of test now? Test which students respond by providing an answer. Right. Normally, they can provide like answers. Right. The selection type means what? The selection means they have to select. It is easy to understand. Supply type means what the test which student respond by providing answer. Okay, providing answer means what? They have to write something now. Definition with what is the capital of France. They have to write. But another one, selection is what? Like a multiple choice question. They can select it. The selection type and supply type. I think it may be easy to identify, right? Easy to understand. The supply type, a test which the student respond by providing an answer, is underlying providing an answer. Right. Providing an answer. The example, that means we can identify the few types. The one, short answer variant, under the supply type. Short answer type. The short answer type question is a type of test or the assessment item where students are required to provide a brief, focused response to a question or prompt. The example, I think, easy to understand for you. What is the capital of France? Answer, they have to write a short answer. Who wrote Promontory? William Shakespeare. Short answer. These are the examples. Right. A short answer type question is a type test assessment item where students are required to provide brief for the focused response to a question or a prompt. Okay. Just write this one and underline brief focused response to a question or a prompt. When we are involved with the preparation of the questions, I think this lesson is very important, right? How we can construct or the design test. Mostly we are using like a written test, right? Yeah, right. Okay. Now I think you all are done this part also. Actually, this chapter may be important when you are designing questionnaire, right? Written test. Now we discuss about the test construction. How we can prepare like short answers or the multiple choice questions. One part, right? We selected like a written test. The one type called short answer variety we discussed. And next we have to discuss about the extended answer question, machine varieties and two alternatives or the multiple choice question. Okay, this balance part I wish to discuss next day, right? I think it may be useful for you when you are working as a teacher. Normally, you have to prepare the paper, right? Therefore, I think this lesson may be useful for you in practically also. Right. This slide I wish to share in next day, right? PDF one I'll share in next day. And how about if you have any issues or doubt regarding the session, you can ask. Right. Okay. Now I wish to wind up the today's session, and special thanks for your participation, and good night to all.
Thank you, sir. Good night, sir.
Okay, Jai Kalam.
Thank you, sir. Good night, sir.
Thank you, sir. Good night.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.